Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. We, and I mean me and the do, are just taking a morning stroll, having a great start to the day. Wesley had his first regression, whatever that was. I should have recorded it because it was absolutely insane. He was going off. He is on one, and by on one I mean that one lasted for over an hour, but eventually put himself to sleep. I did check on him a couple of times, but regressions happen, and when your baby's 6 months old, you kind of just gotta go with the punches when when things are going wrong. So he eventually settled himself down, and so we are woodpecker. So we were just cruising through the morning. He did wake up at 4:30, but he ended up going back to sleep, trying to make up for that hour or so that he was just not having a great day. So it's been a great morning, nice and productive after he got down to bed, and great day, great morning. Evie is doing well. She's just she's been kind of, we call it hatching when she is extra sleepy, and apparently, I mean, Katie hatches too, so not a big deal. But we just settling in nicely to the morning, and I'm getting a little me time while Wesley's asleep, so that's fun too, just to relax, play some video games, and just chill out, because sometimes that's what I like to do. So it's been just a chill morning. I am looking forward to getting Wesley a bottle, and then we are going to start some finger painting. It's exciting. I do have a plan, and I hope that it works out. So we'll see what goes into that, and if we can make it happen. I think we're gonna paint his fingers individually, and then we'll put them on the paper, and that'll be we'll do it with a brush. So we got a kind of a system working out, and looking forward to getting into that. And Katie's got a hangout with some moms, the mom from Richmond that we met on our flight, and that'll be great for her. I didn't realize, but she's taking Wesley, so I have actually some dad time, so I think I'll be doing a little something for myself. And let's go do some crafts. Hello, just shopping for some groceries. Crafts was an amazing success. I was so happy how it turned out. Complicated using a baby's hand to make a bunny and a chick, but it turned out fine. Just getting stuff for dinner for the next couple of days. Really glad that we were able to just spend a little bit of time together. Wesley's going to be going off for his first mommy baby meetup, and I know that it's going to be fine. They'll have a great time. So I'm looking for a little downtime myself and hang out with Evie, and we'll see what the rest of the day has in store for me. Oh, imagine my luck. Burmese fixins. They are so good, and they just happen to be right outside of my block here at Gramophone down in Forest Hill, and so lucky to get a chance to taste some of their fixins. They actually did catered our reception dinner, so really excited to get our hands on some meat. So excited. May I help you? Do you need something? What? Oh, you need a walk? Oh, okay. Well, let's go. Let's go. You want to go on a walk? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Well, let's go. Sit. Let's go. Hi. It's been a great day. The food was wonderful. I mean, it's just good. It's just good to have some food. And some food that you like. I can't say no to barbecue. I can. I have said no before. But I've also made mistakes in the past. And that's some of those are the mistakes that I made. Lovely day. Really nice. So great to get out of the house, do some errands, do some crafts, spend time with Katie and Wesley, and the cards. I guess we'll fold them in half and send them to our family and stuff. But they were just so cute. Just small little bits of things that you can do for your. It doesn't cost much of anything. All told, I think the craft supplies were about $15, and some of the stuff we already had. But yeah, you love that. You gotta love it when you can just put something together and it's like a keepsake. I personally am not a sentimental person, so like I don't plan on keeping finger painting from Wesley, but Katie did have him put his hands on some paper and paint and do that. But it's that's for her to remember, but it's like I was there. I remember. So it's sentimental, but that's to each their own. I won't be keeping it. I won't have a little record of all the things. I remember hearing Ram Dass talk about when his father passed away, and his father was such a meticulous he was so meticulous about filing, and so he had letters that his son had written and drawings from like 3rd grade, and it's like, this is a man that ended up eventually dying, as many do in life. And it was sorry, there's a dog in a car just drove by. But yeah, it's just one of those things where you invest too much into recording the past and recording all the things that happen in life, and you kind of lose sight of the fact that you've got life to live right now. And what are you gonna do? You're gonna one of my favorite lines that Ram Dass in that same vein is like, what are you gonna do? Run out of memory, run out of moments, like run out of things to do right now? And it's like, yeah, you've always got right now. You've always got this moment, and always got. You're always going to have something to do and something to pay attention to. So it is kind of, in a sense, it is kind of silly to stash things away. I don't know if you guys know who Ram Dass is. I know it's just like, that's just a name, that's a person to you. But he was an American psychologist, professor at Harvard for a while. Really an up-and-comer, and he ended up taking LSD and psilocybin, and like it really set him on a path of like understanding who he was, and eventually he got fired from Harvard for standing up for the process that they were undergoing, and the experimentation with students. It sounds bad when when I say it like that, but ultimately, like his path led him to what he calls his sadhana, or his path. Like that is his life and the way that he lives it. And so he's an interesting guy, and he's a spiritual teacher. And so anyway, I admire the hell out of him for the pursuits. And it's like I had this realization one day, because he was talking about like, well, he he has lectures online. Let me clarify. He's dead now. He's not alive. But he said in a lecture he was one place, and he got a letter, or he got a letter or a call saying, hey, we're holding a spot for you at this, Buddhist whatever that we're doing. And so he left one place with his friends to go to another place, and his thing is going to these spiritual retreats. And it made me admire and desire that same experience, that same journey of like self-development and spiritual growth. And to an extent, I was like, oh man, I wish I got to do that. I would love to go to he talked about going to a Buddhist monastery for 3 months, and he's like, this is what I get to do. I get to go to these things, and that's my trip. But my trip isn't to do that. My trip is what I'm doing right now. It's making videos on YouTube. It's being a father. It's making diplomas for college students and schools, and that's my trip. And so you can be interested and curious about the trips that people go on, that their life takes them on, but to get wrapped up and say like, oh well, I wish that was my trip. It's not. We all have different paths to navigate, and I think this is where Sundays get very philosophical. If it was your path, then you would be on it, that you would go and do those spiritual retreats. That's not to say one day I won't take a spiritual retreat, but that's not where I'm at right now, and that's not where my journey's taking me. So, and if it does, just like when I took a lesson from my teacher Andrew in transcendental meditation, it's just something that that's on my journey. That's on my road, my roadway and my path to my own development. And so, you can't say that you don't want something, that you're not going to experience something, because then you're kind of limiting yourself. But to open up to the possibility that anything could be your path, and to ultimately accept that is your path. Whatever you're doing right now is exactly what you're supposed to be doing. And even if it's not the end result, you're not going to be stuck. As I switch hands, because it's a workout holding your arm out like that. You're not going to be stuck in that place forever. You're not going to be stuck as a 33-year-old dad forever. You're not. That's not how life is. It's as strange as it is to say, as we experience life, it's linear. And that's, in many ways, that is obvious to us as experiencers. But in many other ways, we're just witnesses to the passage of time right now, in this current moment. So you get a chance to glimpse into these experiences, and you don't get to live every experience. You don't get to have every moment. And that's kind of the beauty of life, is if you were to inhabit every single experience, and to know what it is to be a monk, and everything, just open yourself up to that comprehension of, if you were to live every life, eventually you'd live this life. You'd live the one that you're in right now, and the experience that you're in right now. And that's just the truth of the matter. So being open enough to be this, whatever I am right now, and to not long for Ram Dass's life, and to not long for your life, or my parents' life, or the life where I own a house already, all these ideas are, they're fine. And you can admire them, but to want to possess them is a completely different story, and kind of one that sets you down a road that you start to hate everything that you have, because it's not what they have, and what you have is right, and it's good, and that's totally okay. I know it seems weird. I went down a tangent because I was just talking about Ram Dass, and I really trying to come back to where I was, but yeah, it's an interesting place, and the longer you go down the tangent and the rabbit hole, the further you get from the goal that you were trying to demonstrate in the first place. So, what I've learned is how to be me, and that's the best gift I can give myself, is the reality that life is what it is, and it doesn't need to be anything else, and to get spun up in some leash of expectation is it's a fool's errand. But anyway, to return back to my original statement of packing things away, now that I've returned to it, to pack things away and to save them for the future, for a moment where you can relive the nostalgia of, oh, that's what my baby boy's hand looked like when he was 5 months old. Sweet. But it's not now. It's not real. And ultimately, like, you get today. You got right now. You don't need to long for yesterday. It is just like you don't need to desire some other timeline where you made a different choice, or that's what suffering is in the end. As Buddha talked about it, suffering is desire, and suffering is desire for a thing that's different than right now. And ultimately, if you let go of that suffering, if you let go of that, pining for youth, your youth or someone else's youth, maybe it's your children, maybe it's the historical experience of someone else. If you can let go of those, if you can drop those from your memory and drop them from your expectation of what life should be, then you become free. That's liberation. That's freedom from moksha, or that is moksha. And that's ultimately the goal. Like, I don't know anyone that wants to be stuck in the past, stuck in, a life that is other than today. It's one of my favorite yards here. Look at these cool. These are new. They've got a great line from Kabir. The river that flows in you also flows in me. It's very nice. Nice sentiment. That's how it kind of turned me on to Kabir, to be honest. Oh no. To the person who complained about this tree, I hope you are happy now. It kind of jutted out into the street, or into the sidewalk. But it's kind of nice. I like it. It's like a little nook. Honestly, I think they should put a bench there. And that might be a nice way to spite people. It's like, now, not only was there a tree here, but now there's going to be people that loiter because they want to sit under the tree and bask in the beauty of this gorgeous greenery. Anyway, to round it all out, I don't stash things away in the past because I've got everything I need right now. I've got my health, and I've got my dog, and I've got my wife, and I've got my boy, and wherever those end up in the timeline, in the future, and the unfolding of life, they are perfect, and they are exactly where they're supposed to be. And it sounds terrible, because knowing the stories that are out there in the world of children that get sick and die young, it's awful. It's an awful thing to undergo as a person, but and more challenging to undergo as like a parent, for example. But those are the things that we experience. And you can't take that away from somebody. You certainly can't take it away from, a mother who has a miscarriage. I mean, you go down this line of thinking where it's like, well, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. And I don't wish it on anybody either. But you can't deny the reality of things that truly happen. And, just like when it happens, as it does, oh my gosh, when it happens, as it does, as this happens, you just kind of be witness to it, and then, appreciate it for how long it's going to last. But don't live in the past, guys. Enjoy it while it's here. And when you look back fondly, but don't linger. Don't linger on the past. Just appreciate it. Appreciate that it happened, that you had this moment, that you have this life, and that you have the opportunity to seize all of these beautiful, intricate moments with the people you love, with the places you love, with the time that you have. Because it doesn't last forever. So don't think about tomorrow. Don't think about the future. Don't think about, how you can save this moment, how you can save these ideas, because they're just ideas. They're just glimpses in the stream. When you see a river and there's leaves flowing on the river, do you follow the leaves or do you watch the leaves pass your segment of river? It's an idea that gives you just a glimpse, a little tiny particulate of what it is to live as a witness to time rather than a victim of time. And there's two mindsets, right? You have to consider it. There's two mindsets. One is a witness to reality, and one is the victim, the puppet of reality. You can choose. So choose wisely. And I hope you had a wonderful Sunday. If you enjoyed this video, well, guess what? I don't care, because I'm going to make more videos like this, whether or not you liked it. But if you did, feel free to give it a like. Watch another video. Share it with your friends. Say, you guys hear this guy talk about suffering? He's weird. He's weird. And he's got a dog. It's got a skin nose. Ask me more about it, and I'll tell you more about it. I hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.